lose a scholarship offer for your kid because of what you're doing in the state.
Place is going crazy, but there's a difference between that and degrading, right? And so handle it.
Yeah.
At any moment that it can't be handled, that's when I'm gonna need you to step in. But hey, she's gonna call you. She's gonna say, man, Coach Williams is doing this X, Y.
I had to drive to Waco at 5 o'clock in the morning to redo the whole boom, 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 boom.
Man, hold up. I done came down. It's that girl Steph represent that H-Town. With my girl Ashley. Man, we here living. Her brand, what it called?
Different.
Hey!
Welcome to It's Just Different podcast, where we bring on people who have been where you're trying to go and or have helped countless athletes get there. I'm your host, Ashley Roberts, and I got Coach Williams. I had to take it to the Juco for a second. I think you are the first Juco coach.
Oh, man. I'm excited.
You're the first.
You chose a good one. You chose a good one.
I'm excited to have you. My girl has been in the coaching game forever, I feel like. Third year at Kilgore. Third year at Kilgore. Was that, I'm just going to say, I've been saying Bossier until she corrected me. It's Bossier. And how many years you been there?
Bossier. I was at Bossier for 1 year. Bossier City, Bossier Parish Community College. So.
And then before that was with the young ones at the high school level.
Yep. I did 2 years at Caddo High School in North Louisiana, and then I was at East Texas School 2-3 years out there as well. So
You've been in this game.
Been in it. And then before that, I was at Texas A&M Commerce under Jason Burton, and before that, I did D3 at East Texas Baptist. So
Man, we're going to get into all of that. Shout out to you, Burton, by the way.
Big shout out.
We're going to get into all of that. I start this podcast off with what's different. The name of this podcast is called It's Just Different because I believe that the game is different, whether good or bad. It's a lot of good and there's some bad. But what do you think is different as it relates to junior college now versus back then?
Oh, that's a good question. I think that something that's different for junior college is we're more for the kids. And I think that's just the trajectory of women's basketball as a whole. I think, we're getting more one and done kids, which is great. We're preparing them faster to go play at that next level instead of going and sitting on somebody's bench for a year. Now you can come here instead of 2 years, come here 1 year as long as you're a qualifier and, go keep on playing your freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year and do your thing. So I think that we are more for getting young ladies out there faster. So
that's a great point.
Yeah.
That's a great point. And I want you to actually stay on that for a second
Okay.
because one, and I'm going to say this a lot. I'm going to let y'all know I'm going to say this a lot. I feel like people sleep on Juco.
Talk to me. Come on.
I feel like
why are they sleeping on Juco?
Honestly, because I think a lot of kids and parents, I'm gonna start with the kids first, think they not good. They think if a JUCO want me, I'm not good. And parents feel the same way too. And I'm gonna be honest, like I'm a JUCO product. I went to South Plains.
And then where'd you go after that?
To the University of Texas Hook'em.
Talk to them.
Now, that is something I think is different now. I do think that JUCO is a little bit more out there versus when I went. But I was the same way, so I'm not going to even put it on the parents and the kids the whole time because that was me.
Yeah.
I went to Duncanville High School. I tore my ACL. So Coach Mudd, shout out to Coach Mudd, RIP. After I tore my ACL, I had all the schools on me before. I tore my ACL, and they all went away. Yeah. And I still had some D1 offers, but at that time, I knew my goal was to always be in the Big 12. I knew that I can play. It wasn't just like a dream or false hope. Like I knew it, one, because all of those schools was already recruiting me. Yeah. So people was telling me like, go JUCO. And I'm like, I was not gonna do it. I'm like, no, I'm not going JUCO because I thought it was for people without good grades. Yeah. I graduated top 10% of my class. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest, I thought it was for kids that just wasn't that good. I just had no knowledge of it. My parents didn't have any knowledge of it, and I had so many D1s already recruiting me. Yeah. So Coach Mudd was like, Ash Mama, that's what he called me. He was like, Ash Mama, I think you should go JUCO. And I'm like, all right, let me just do it.
Yeah.
My favorite player was Cheryl Swoops.
Yeah.
And she went to South Plains. I did. Let me tell you, I'm gonna say Stephanie.
Go ahead. We talking.
I didn't do no research.
You just chose?
I literally, I saw that Cheryl Swoops went there. I didn't even know if South Plains was good. I just seen it, and I was like, I'm gonna go to South Plains. Literally.
Oh, man, I bet that coach that's a gift.
Literally, that's literally. So I went into Duncanville the next day to Coach Self, and I said, Coach Self, I want to go to South Plains. And she was like, why? And I was like, because Cheryl Swoops went there. And she was like, that's it? I was like, yeah. I was like, can you call? Can we set up a visit? She did. I went there, worked out. They offered me. I took it. Literally. And I tell this story. If y'all been watching the podcast, y'all know I'm about to talk about Lovato. So Coach Lovato was at Grayson. She was at Grayson.
Yep.
She was coming up to Duncanville just about every day. I think that was her first year. She had just got the job. She was up at Duncanville every single day, and I was not giving her the time of the day.
Yeah.
I just said, I'm not going there. Like, I don't know you. I don't know nothing about Grayson, and I don't care about Juco.
Yeah.
I'm just going to South Plains. So I tell that story all the time because once she recruited me and wanted me to come, I did not. Nope, not doing it. I'm going to South Plains.
You had it made up.
Listen, they whole roster.
Memorized.
UTEP, I mean, everybody, all Division I players beat us. And I tell her all the time, you remember when I was acting like I was just too good?
She ended up going to Trinity Valley, and now she at your alma mater. Look at that.
It's crazy. But even going back to, like you saying, why they sleep, I do think that it's still that way. And I feel like, and I ain't that old, but I feel like when Juco was around, it wasn't how it is now. Right? But I feel like there's pub around it. And it's so many kids that's going D1, but I think it's just that notion. Like, people have a blockage of Juco.
Yeah, and what it used to be known for. Yeah.
Yes, and it's like, even if I'm a kid, most people will try to use that as a crutch of like, okay, if I'm not getting recruited, I'm gonna go there. But to be honest, and you just said it, even if it's a kid that is going D1 and they're gonna sit the bench, I don't understand why they go.
That part.
I don't get it.
That part.
I don't get it. We was just at the Jamboree a few weeks, and we don't know when this episode dropping, but we're gonna say a few weeks ago. And it's D1 coaches all up and down the gym.
About 300 to be exact. About 250 to 300.
About 250 to 300. How many coaches would you say was at your game?
Oh my gosh. A lot. I mean, shoot, it's different for me because once I get Coach Williams, how we are right now, and then once I step on the floor, Coach Williams, I block out everything on the side, and I'm just seeing what's happening. But I will say that I know that our floor they on the wall, they sitting on the sides. The coach is standing next to me because, Mansfield's kind of tight.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, our floor was packed both games with Division I college coaches. And I know that just because after the game, I have them waiting to talk to me right after to talk about my roster. So I can't put a number on it, but I know we had them.
And I think it's one of the benefits of, again, going Juco. Like, being able to play in this tournament where you got multiple coaches there. Yeah. And they're again, watching Juco players.
Exactly.
So I just think, one, that's a huge benefit. To being able to go Juco and being able to play. Being able to play in front. I mean, I was at the gym and I saw a lot of talent on top of a lot of coaches. And I think it's big. I think it's big for the game. Yeah, I agree. Now, I just had to go on that little rant for a second.
Talk to them. Tell them because they don't know.
I had to go on that rant. But you was at, I wanted to say Bossier again. Bossier. I'm going to get this right.
There you go. Bossier City. There you go.
Bossier before Kilgore.
Yes, ma'am.
Why the change?
And so we talked about this a little bit before we got on camera. I just have to give glory to God on all things just because just being able to sit here. First of all, I have to say you're doing an amazing job. I just appreciate what you're doing for women's basketball. I just think you've got, before girls basketball was popular and famous with everything that's going on, you were in the trenches doing the work. And so I don't want to give people their flowers when they're big. I'm giving you your flowers right now. I just appreciate everything that you do for the game. I just got done with high school, and so I did D3, D2, commerce, was switching to that D1, and I ended up starting a family. And so that's why I stepped back in that time. It was just unheard of if you're going to have kids and still coach, you know? And so just the way I was raised, I just stopped coaching and I moved to high school. And everywhere I went, we changed the program in a good way. And so I liked that challenge. I was in year 2, about to go year 3 in a school in Bossier, in North Louisiana, and Bossier City hadn't been doing well. Bossier City was the 10th school in our conference at the time. I knew the athletic director because he had always seen me recruiting when I was a college coach. He knew I was coaching high school in Louisiana. He literally called me up. I still have the text message, and he was like, "Hey, I want to talk to you about a job opportunity." And I'm at a small school in North Louisiana. I'm like, oh. So shout out to John Rennie. I appreciate you for giving me my first head coaching opportunity. So I called him in the middle of my teaching break. And I'm like, at first I'm thinking, is this a prank? And he like, nah, I want you to come down here. Man, we've only been winning a couple games. I want you to come down here. I want you to interview for the job because we need an immediate change. We need a drastic change, and I need it immediately. I was like, I'll be there tomorrow.
Wow.
And so went down there, interviewed for the job. He gave me the job like by the end of the week. And my first year there, you know, we won triple the games that they had been winning. And so it was an interim tag at the time. And I'm thinking, okay, yeah, we almost had a 20-win season. I made it to the playoffs. They were last in conference. We jumped from 9th, 10th place to now we're 5th, 6th place in just the first year. Oh yeah, they're gonna take that interim tag off. I walk in that office, and they're like, "No, we shutting down the program."
What?
Oh man, hurt my heart. They said, "No, we shutting down the whole program." And it was smoke in the city, right?
Yeah.
It was smoke in the city. And so just because we had such a great year, and, you know, we had the high schools coming, the band and all that, we just had it all exciting. But COVID, just money, all of the things, and so there just wasn't any money, which I understood. And so I always want to thank Bipsy, I always want to thank Bossier Parish, John Rennie, you know, for giving me my first opportunity, because if he didn't give me that opportunity to show that I can coach and do something, I wouldn't be here at Kilgore. The head coach at Kilgore ended up getting another job somewhere else, and so literally in that month span, I interviewed for the Kilgore job, and they called me. They had already seen my resume because I was in the conference, and they were like, yeah, we want you to come over here and do that. And so we just been rocking and rolling ever since. So
I got to
I have to, if I'm gonna give John Rennie his flowers, I got to give the most amazing athletic director I've ever worked with, CP Courtney Pruitt, for believing in me, because she, hands down, she's like my mentor. She just is one of the best people to work for. So just believing in me to change the Kilgore program, I have to give her flowers too. So
Nah. Was there anything that you could have done? Was it like raising money or anything to keep the program going, or was it just like we done?
It was, for me, it was, we're done. Because and that's where I say there was smoke in the city, right? Because we had did everything that we could possibly do. Nobody was coming to the games. We had bands coming. We had high schools coming, high school night. You know, people were in the gym. And so I didn't know that it was a situation of a financial situation. I'm coming in thinking like, no, we got to win some games. We got to get them back in the playoffs. So that's where the part I kind of got caught off guard on that part. But I mean, it is what it is. They're doing great over there. They still kept their men's program. They got a good softball team and baseball team. So, you know, I'm wishing them the best of luck over there. So, yeah.
That's good. Now, as I said earlier, you've been in this game for a while.
Yes, yes, ma'am. 14 years. 14
years. Your first head coaching job was at what age were you your first head coaching? High school.
My first head coaching job, I was 28 years old, and I was the head coach at a small private school, a 6A TAPS private school in Tyler, Texas, called Brook Hill.
Yeah. I want to talk about that for a little bit. You're not too far.
You did your research for real.
Just a little bit.
I ain't pulled out Brook Hill in a minute.
You're not too far from that age. I want to talk to other young coaches. I got my first head coaching job at 23, I think. 23 or 24. 23. And I didn't have that guidance of like, obviously you always have your older mentors, but at the end of the day, I feel like age gaps matter.
Yes.
You know, some things are, you know, a straight line, straightforward, but some things you also got to adjust. And I don't think that I really had that mentorship of what being a head coach looks like. And I went through a lot being a young head coach. I want you to talk about that. Like, what were some of the challenges that you had being a young head coach, and what advice would you give to other young head coaches?
You did your research.
You know, that's what I do. I'm just saying.
Oh my goodness, that's a good question. Some advice that I would give a young head coach is always be a student of the game and always be humble. Also, always know that you're coming, whether you're a player or whatever it is, when you get into the game of coaching, you're not going to get that team. You're not going to get the Duncanvilles.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to get the Cedar Hills. You're not going to get that. They want to see what you can do. And so being patient with this generation, and it's all about fundamentals, right? Teaching them just the proper way to just play basketball, that spacing, doing a lot of 3-on-3, 2-on-2, stuff like that. I think we get so caught up in plays and wanting to look good that, you know, we got to realize the situation that we're in and just impacting those young girls' lives. They don't care. Even in college, they don't care how much they know, how much we know. They want to know how much you care. And so don't get frustrated. Do not get frustrated. I think a lot of coaches get frustrated because they're looking at everybody else's record and then they're looking at themselves. Just keep on being the best you can be, and each year you're going to get better and build on top of that. And I promise you, God going to reward your efforts. So there was plenty of days, if I just stopped at high school and the situation I was in, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
And so you got to just keep on going and just keep on loving on them kids and just doing it for the right reasons. You know your stuff. Another thing, don't second guess yourself.
Yeah.
You know your stuff. You know your basketball, because you'll get to points where you be like, man, am I breaking this down enough? You know what I mean?
And that's
all
the
of
one
that.
right there, the second guessing.
Don't second guess yourself. You know your stuff. Be confident. And I know people say it all the time, but it's building you to be a better coach. And I feel like those who coach high school, junior high, make you an even better college coach, because you know how to work with something. You know how to work with either not a lot of talent, or you know how to game plan. If you only got one person on your team that know how to dribble the ball, but everybody else know how to pass and screen, now you're looking at different offenses, and it lets you, like, get in your thinking tool and thinking box. But so there's a reason why you're there, to make you better for when you do get that all-star team or the team that you want. So did that answer your question?
No, it did. It did. And you hit it on the nail when it's like, when you're dealing with junior high or high school, because at the end of the day, the rosters are different.
Yep.
And you really got a game plan.
You do.
Like,
hey, we got to do a triangle or two, a box and one. Hey, we just face guard her right there. Two people right there. Everybody else can't shoot. Make sure she don't touch the ball.
baby, let me tell you, listen, when I was at, I guess I can say this. Yeah, y'all know where I was at. I coached at Cedar Creek High School.
Okay.
And it was a different roster. I'm just going to say that it was a different roster. I'm a winner. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
I compete. I played at Duncanville. I played at South Plains.
Yeah.
We were winning. I played at the University of Texas. So I've always been around winning.
Yeah.
Now, when I got to Cedar Creek High School, what they were used to was very different. Like, I had a lot of kids that at the end of the day, great kids.
Yeah.
But basketball just wasn't a priority.
Yeah.
Like, some of them, he had to go home and feed the cow and feed, like,
Family vacations,
everything.
all of that. Yeah.
And I had to really get them to buy in.
Yeah.
And I did. Now, at the end of the day, we didn't have the best talent. They wasn't used to winning. But I got real strategic.
Yeah.
And I knew who could handle the ball. I was like, listen, we need to get her the ball on the block, nowhere else, on that block. And it took me, like, being patient and, like, figuring out, like, truly, what are these kids good at?
Yeah.
Right? How can I had one kid that all she could really do was shoot. And Coach, I said, we gonna make sure you shoot the ball.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put you in position to shoot the ball. And I say that to say, like, it really took patience and, like you said, like, really game plan and really strategizing,
Yeah.
like, knowing I'm not a 2-3 type of coach.
Yeah.
Baby, we in this 2-3.
Yeah. Because they gonna backdoor you and all that in the mail.
Listen, we gonna do what works for us. And I think that's important, like, to know, like, you got to know your team.
Yeah.
You have to know your team. So I love that you said that, because I think it's key. Like, especially when you're a young coach, because you're gonna have so many different ears, eyes, opinions, everything
That part.
telling you. And if you don't trust yourself,
Yeah.
you listen to everybody, and now ain't nothing getting done.
Exactly. Then you look like you don't know what you're doing because you're doing what everybody else wants. They're going to judge you regardless.
Yeah.
This is regardless. This is for whether you coaching, whether you a businesswoman, whatever it is, whatever you're doing in life, people are going to judge you regardless, and they going to say that they could do it better. Live your life and do it the way you want to do it, because you only got one life and you only got one you.
That's it. That's gonna be that might be, I don't know where that's gonna go, but that's going somewhere. You talked earlier about family. I think that's one of the hardest things to manage at the collegiate level. I don't care what level.
Yeah.
As a woman,
Yeah.
right? I would say that. Like, how do you continue to manage that, like, that balance of family and ball?
I intertwine the two, right? And so my husband, he's in the military, and so he's gone a lot. And so I have an 8-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 4-year-old. 8-year-old boy, 7-year-old boy, and a 4-year-old little girl. Yeah, and so I'm working all the time. I'm working with my 15 young ladies on the team, and then when I get off of work, I'm working with my babies. And so I make sure that I keep them a part of everything that I'm doing. They're going to see mommy work. When I recruit players, I tell them, anybody that I've ever recruited, you've heard this line, that I'm recruiting big sisters for my little kids, because they're going to be around me. They're going to be on the bench at games. They're going to be there in practice. It's great working on the college level, because if they don't have school, they're in the office. They walk to the cafeteria. They're in the dorm rooms. And then I just make sure that I don't stop their life. So I'm in something new now. I'm a soccer mom now.
Ooh.
And so all 3 of my kids play soccer, and I make sure that I am at their games or I'm at their practices. I make sure that with recruiting, I'm gone a lot. So it's Juco. It's only me and my assistant coach. Shout out to my assistant coach, Coach Brianna Jashay Brooks. Yeah, I said the government name. Online. I make sure that if we're recruiting, I'm either putting them in bed, or if it's an opportunity where I don't stay in the hotel that night and I can be home that night, that when they wake up, I put them on the bus. If it's an opportunity where I'm gone 3 days out the week, I'm FaceTiming them before they go to sleep. I'm saying prayers with them. They're going to see mommy's face, that they know that I'm very, very active in what they got going. And if mommy can't make the game or the play or whatever it is, they know, oh, okay, if she really did have something to do, because she's going to do whatever she can to be around us. So I just don't stray. I don't hide my family away from my job. If I got something to do and my kids are with me, they're going to be with me. A lot of the players I recruit, they see my kids with the iPad in the stands. Yeah. You know what I mean? It is. So when the game is over and I'm talking to the player on the floor, they done ran on the floor and took a basketball and they shooting while me and you and your parents are talking. Because I think that it's important, especially for women, that y'all see that you can have a family and you can do whatever it is you want to. And that's the reason why I quit college basketball, is because everybody kept on saying you can't, you can't, you can't. And once I realized that you can, I don't let nobody tell me what I can and cannot do. So yes, you can have a family. Yes, you can be married. Yes, you can have as many kids as you want to. You just got to make sure that you're organized and prioritize your life to make sure you get everything accomplished.
Yeah.
So.
Now, how old was it would have been your son. That was the first. Yeah. How old was your son when you got back into coaching?
Same. I became a head coach. Two. He was 2.
Okay, so you quit for 2 years, right? You quit for 2 years and then went back into coaching.
So let's do the math in real time. Boom. I quit, and then I had Prince. I said Prince is 8 years old?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was 28. Yeah.
And that's when you took the head coaching at the high school.
And so Prince was one. Prince was one when I took the head coaching job at Brookhill.
Okay.
But when I took that job, I was pregnant with Jordan. My
That's
boys
where
are
I was
only
getting at. Okay, yeah.
And so I had Jordan right before season started, my first year head coaching. So I had a 1-year-old and a newborn
Oh my gosh.
coaching. And then when we moved to Louisiana, that's when I had Skylar. So I had a 4-year-old, 3-year-old, and a newborn, and going into my 3rd, 4th year of being a head coach.
And husband is in the military, or is he here then?
He's here, but he's when I had Skylar, he was in the military, and so that was the year of the winter storm. You remember that? And
that
everything
was crazy.
shut down. Yep, he's gone. He's deployed.
Oh my.
So it's me, and then COVID hit right after. It's all them babies. I'm coaching. There would be times where I can say now I don't work there. I'm figuring out how to get my kids, get them back. They got to be on the bus with me, and sitting on the end of the bench. I got the stroller right there, and we're making it work. But it was fun times because when I say that I'm a family-oriented person, I have my parents that would be in the game. Hey, go sit back there with so-and-so mama, so I can, coach, don't worry about it, I got the babies.
Yeah.
And so I'm so thankful. And I took that into college. That's why I'm so thankful for parents, because we're coaching people's babies here.
Yes.
And so there's a lot of coaches, like we talked about, it's just the whole mold is different. There's a lot of coaches that just ex-parents out on everything. I'm not one of them coaches. I got a group chat with my parents. Like I have a group meet, hey, this is where the game is going to be. This is the location. This, if you can't watch it, this is where the video is going to be, so you can watch it online. My only rule is I don't talk basketball. I don't talk, but if we're going to talk about the welfare of your kids, that's what we're doing, because we're in this together. I'm partnering with you to help your daughter become a young lady and become a boss. And so how am I to be like, don't talk to me about your child. You the best person who know your child.
Facts.
So, hey, man, listen, how are we going to get her together and get this right so that we can make sure she's successful, So, now I give credit to parents for helping me, allow me to coach their kids while they're watching my kids for that, 2 hours. So
Yeah, no, and that's good. And I want to stay on these parents because that's a great take.
Yeah.
I'm going to actually go from a high school level first, because you're out at games, you're recruiting all the time. What advice would you give to parents helping navigate their athletes' basketball journey?
Be quiet in the stands. Be quiet in the stands. And I'm going to say the reason why is because depending on the level, it really don't, unless you're like no, I'm not even going to say that, because I see Kim Mogi, we've been in the same places, and she intentionally sits in the middle of the stands with everybody. We listen to everything. And if we haven't met you for the first time, one of the things I do is I know the kid that I'm looking, and then I look to see, okay, where are their parents? I'm doing my research, where are their parents? So then now I'm watching body language. Obviously, if we're recruiting the young lady, we know that they have some sort of physical ability to come play on our team, but then now it's all the tangibles. How are you? Are you a good teammate? How do you talk to your parents after the game? How do your parents talk to you? Is this going to be a dysfunctional type of thing? Are you always talking about the coach and how the coach can't do their job or whatever it is? No college coach want to take that on into their program.
Yeah.
They're trying to build a culture. And so I would say encourage your child and encourage the team, but if it's not anything positive, don't hurt your child's recruitment, because a lot of coaches will, they don't want to put up with that.
Y'all been asking, and we got it. The online store is available. We got sweatshirts, we got t-shirts, we got tights, we got shorts, we got headbands. We got it all. Make sure you check out the online store at itsjustdifferentapparel.com and use code podcast to get 10% off.
That's a fact. Coaches are always watching, and I think parents hear it, right? They're gonna hear from the AAU coach, but I don't know if they really comprehend or really understand it, that you can lose a scholarship offer for your kid because of what you're doing in the stands.
Yeah, the higher the level, I think, the more intense. I think any level really. I think the I don't even want to say the higher the level because it's even Juco too. I think the better the program, right? Because you got to realize it's a brand. And as you know, coaching is the only job that everybody thinks that they can do better than the head coach.
Say that again. Like, how do y'all do that?
and so basketball is really very little X's and O's, right? Like that's the fun part of my job, right? I'm a counselor, I'm a teacher, all of these different things to make sure that my players and my team can function on one accord on the floor, and it takes so much to get to that. On top of that, I'm a brand, and so Kilgore is paying me to represent Kilgore well. So that means anybody that is attached to me, anybody that's attached to my team, that's attached to my player, better make sure that they're, they keep a clean slate. And so coaches don't want to deal with they're coaching the game and people in the stands is, getting on them and, and all of those things. And if they're seeing that on the high school level, why am I going to bring that to my program and add that extra stress? I'm budgeting, I'm managing money, scholarships, all of those things, man. I need people who are going to believe in my vision and trust the process. And so I think most head coaches think in that process of, hey, how can we get the success of the child, and the least amount of distractions is the best. So
yeah, and I think parents get it confused sometimes. Like, I love energy. I want the parents to be in the stands giving some energy, but I think that's very different than staying on the ref, talking about the kids. And I do want to make sure that that's said, because some parents take that as, oh, what am I supposed to do? Go sit in the stands and don't say nothing?
Yeah, no. Have the energy, holler and scream and cheer. All of that is great, right? Because if you're watching me coach, you watching our bench.
Hey, it's nothing but energy.
Yeah, it ain't nothing but energy. The whole place is going crazy, but there's a difference between that and degrading, right?
Yes.
And so that's where there's the thin line of, at the end of the day, it's just a game. We don't degrade anybody in what they're doing. It's like somebody going to your job and, getting on your boss and your coworkers and you and your patients and all of those things. People just don't have time for that. So bringing the energy, it's about this. That's what sports is about, but make sure we keep it professional, and so I think sometimes, I've seen where people have to be held back from coaches, you know what I mean, or held back from referees, and it don't take all that. And so everybody's in it for the benefit of the child for the most part, and so just keep it professional, keep it very demure.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a fact, too. Very classy.
For film review, film breakdown sessions, consultations, or even ebooks to help guide you through this thing called basketball, well, I got you covered. Make sure you visit ashleyannroberts.com for all your basketball needs. Make sure you visit Ashley Ann Roberts for all your basketball needs, and let me know how I can help you. Again, ashleyannroberts.com.
Move into the college world because, and I think you get some of that at the high school, but really at the college level, I see and know a lot of coaches that don't want to deal with parents.
Yeah.
And I agree with what you're saying of, like, I personally feel like when you building a winning team, a winning culture, parents are a part of it.
Agreed.
Because I don't care how old you are, they gonna listen to their parents.
Agreed.
At the end of the day, like, how do you get that buy-in, even from your parents, to make sure everybody's on the same page?
I agree with you. I think that a lot of coaches don't want to talk to parents, and that's one of the things I pride myself on is talking to parents, just because there's a way to do it. And so in the recruiting process, when I talk to a young lady, I say, all right, send me your mom or dad or whoever you're living with, send me their number so I can call and introduce myself, right? Because what I'm not going to do is keep on talking or texting this young lady at the end of the day, I'm still an adult.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so now that I have kids, a lot of people don't have great intentions. So I want to make sure that everybody knows there's no funny business happening here. Hey, I am Coach Williams. I'm the head women's basketball coach at Kilgore College. You can go Google to make sure I can, even when you see my phone call, you see a picture of me in my Kilgore stuff. And so, hey, these are my intentions. This is what I would like to happen. I would like to have all of y'all up here for a visit. Hey, I want to keep you in the loop with everything. Now, once your child gets here, understand now you're passing that baton to me. So I'm going to keep you in the loop of what's happening with your daughter, but please let us handle it.
Yeah.
At any moment that it can't be handled, that's when I'm going to need you to step in. But, hey, she's going to call you. She's going to say, man, Coach Williams is doing this X, Y, Z, boom, boom, boom. And I'm going to call you and be like, hey, your daughter is probably going to call you because I got on her tail today, and this is what happened. And so, hey, and then we go in between there. And I really don't have, this is year 14, so of course there's going to be a couple of things here and there, but I'm at a stage now that I really don't have any issues with my parents. My parents trust me because I'm so open with them. Hey, she's hurt. How do we want to handle this? This is what I think we need to do. And every single one of my parents, Coach, I trust you. How do we want to handle my daughter? What do we want to do? And because I have that open door with them, hey, man, this coach, when a coach calls me and is recruiting their daughter, I say, hey, talk to their parents. Yes, they're going to talk to me about what coach do you think I should go to? And yes, I'll put my input. I know this coach. I know they're going to do great things for you. But at the end of the day, like you said, everybody going to listen to their mama and daddy. So you go convince their mama and daddy, because at the end of the day, they're still growing.
Yes, that's a fact.
Yeah.
Now I want to get into Kilgore just a little bit. I keep getting this confused.
City of the Stars.
Ooh.
City of the Stars. You hear that? City of the Stars.
That sounds like City of the Champions. That's what we said.
Hey, when I get done with it, we have Evelyn Blaylock.
Yeah.
Evelyn Blaylock. She is one of the most decorated Juco coaches out there. Won 3 championships. First Juco coach to coach a USA USA team. Only Juco coach to be invited to the White House. I have a picture of that. Only Juco team to ever go to the White House was Evelyn Blaylock's team, and so we trying to get it back to that status.
I love it, and you well on your way. 3rd year or 4th year? I don't know why I keep getting these 3s and 4s.
Because it's 4th year in the league, 3rd year at Kilgore.
That's why. Yeah. That's what it is. So 3rd year at Kilgore, your very first year was under 500.
Yep.
And then the following year was over 500.
Yep.
What was the shift?
Very first year when I got the job, I got hired in June, and I had to replace a whole roster. I only brought one person back, and so we recruited 13 people, and we finished 5th in conference. We finished 5th in conference that year, and we made it to the semifinals. We made it to the Final Four. So last year was actually bringing a full year of recruiting my full, people who I've built that relationship with, understand the mission of what I'm trying to do. And we've had 100% graduation rate. Even with the young ladies I brought in my first year, everybody graduated. I'm big on academics. And then last year, everybody graduated. I had 6 sophomores. 6 of them went to Division I. 5 of them are playing Division I. And then that 6th one is, at a big time Division I school, getting her education practically paid for. And so, I think just having that time to build the culture and the foundation set that tone. So.
Yeah. Now, we're in the landscape of the transfer portal.
Yeah.
It's a hot thing.
It is, even in Juco.
Even in
Juco.
Juco. I don't even know if I want to say a preference. Maybe that's not the right word, or maybe it is. Like, do you prefer to go to the portal first or high school kids?
I do both.
Okay.
I don't take a team of just a lot of portal. I have a scheme of how I recruit. I am going to get portal kids, but I also get high-level high school kids as well. And then I'll get a couple of walk-ons as far as I see a lot of good potential in you, and let's see how this works. But I like to balance it out just because I like to return 5 people to, a good team is you have a good coach. A great team is when you have the players, setting that foundation and, the standard. And so we're always going to have a good team because they're going to have a good coach. But I want to have a great team where I have my players now becoming coaches on the floor and handing the standard. So I try to keep that balance of more freshmen than transfers, but making sure I have that sophomore leadership to show them how it's done. Because we're in a tough league, right? And so you can't just come into Region 14 and, we don't deal with a lot of just developmental players. You got to come in and hoop. You saw how it was yesterday. You got to come in and hoop. And so I need that sophomore leadership to help.
Yeah. Now, we'll recruit high school athletes, and maybe you deal with this, maybe you don't, but how do you handle the recruitment of, I guess, getting kids and parents to understand that Juco is a route for the kid and a great route for the kid?
Understanding it, I think explaining it. And so you don't know how many times I've explained, like, Coach, how much is it going to cost me? Nothing. In fact, I'm going to give you your money back. You're going to get are you a full Pell kid? You're going to get all of that back. And so, and they're like, once they start realizing, hold on, I'm getting money back in my pocket, now I want to talk. Now I want to, And so I do things a little differently. I'm very honest. Okay, hey, what are your plans? Do you want to just stay here a year, or do you want to do 2 years? Are you a qualifier? Things along those means. And I don't stray away from the young lady that says, Coach, I just want to do 1 year. A lot of people want to keep you for 2 or do some backdoor stuff. I don't do that. Listen, you want to do 1 year, I think that you have that talent to do 1 year. I think if you went to that Division I school, you would probably sit down for that first year. So come here, play your first year. You can always go back to that D1, or you could get something higher if you come out here and really ball, and I'm not going to keep you because that's what you want to do. And so explaining that and explaining, hey, I'm not going to take your money, and but each level is different. There's some people don't have that luxury. We do. And so explaining the academics, the way we do things, the reason I show them my method of why I have 100% graduation rate, and then I have them on campus. We have top-notch facilities, so when you come in and tour our campus, everything is like, okay, yeah, I'm really liking it, but we got to get them on campus. We have to explain those things first because there's a misconception of Juco. So
that is a fact, and I love to hear that. Like, at the end of the day, it's just being open. Yeah. And I think that's good, but at the end of the day, it starts with the parent and the kid.
Agreed.
One, wanting to take the call. Like, I can't tell you how many just last year kids that I'm talking to, and it's like, oh, I don't got no offers. But I personally know some Jucos
that happens to me all the time. That happens to me all the time. And I think social media helps. I think that, you got to just get your brand out there. I think more so for us as coaches, we can't get our feelings hurt, right? And so I just tend not to get my feelings hurt too much, because of that misconception of just, hey, man, we just got to educate a little bit more. But I just hate to see some kids sometimes not even take that opportunity. They're just like, I'm just going to go to school. And it's like, no, just come do a year and then you can go play where you just need to get more exposure.
Yes.
You might be a young lady that's in a small town and you really can hoop, but you're in a small town and you're not surrounded by a lot of people. And so you need to come and be in an environment where you're going to be seen by a lot of coaches. Just try it out. Just try it. Don't sleep on Juco. Just try it.
That is a fact. That is a fact. Now, we talked about Region 14.
Yeah.
Now.
Yep. Let's go ahead and clear the air right now.
Listen, I'm a little biased, and I'm still going to say Region 5. I'm just saying.
Oh.
Juco product, South Plains.
Okay.
But I like Region 14. No, but what makes Region 14 so tough?
Man, just the history of it. I know everybody knows, Trinity Valley. They obviously have had a rich history of basketball. The same with TJC. Kilgore, Blinn now is, Jeff is doing an amazing job out there. Byron, who has just retired from Angelina, who Angelina currently has a women's basketball player in the WNBA right now. You know what I mean? And so I think that just the history of having, like for us, people don't realize this. We have an alumni who is in the Olympics. in the Olympics. And so Sylvia Hoffman, and then one of the best Juco guards to ever come through was Sadia Roundtree that plays at Georgia. And so those are day in and day out. Having good relationships with Division I coaches. We talked about Evelyn Blaylock. Her and Pat Summit were like that. Kim Mulkey talks about the impact that Evelyn Blaylock, when Kim Mulkey dresses like that, she got that from Evelyn Blaylock, and she gives her credit on all of those things. And so getting those type of players to come in and day out, you're playing against 6'1" and up. You're battling. You're going against grown women. And so that's why we average 2 to 3 teams going to the national tournament every year.
That's so dope.
And and then when we compete and beat each other up every single day in Wednesday and Saturday, that when we get to that national tournament, people fear us because it's like, shoot, I don't even want to play you on a regular basis. Y'all got to see that action every day. And so I think that's why Region 14 has a lot of respect, because we don't run away from the smoke. That's first of all. We don't run away from that smoke.
I can feel
and
that.
then secondly, the caliber of athletes that we have to get to win, to be competitive, has to be that Division I type of athlete, that Division I caliber athlete that just needs to have that little thing to make it click. So
Yeah. Now, speaking of that, obviously these kids are going JUCO to, I would think, to advance after that. What type of student athletes do college coaches typically get from Kilgore athletes?
You're going to get one that's takes everything serious, right? And so that just loves to play basketball. I recruit people who, the very first question I ask them, do you love basketball? Do you like basketball? Right? Because
That's a difference.
There's a huge difference. If you like basketball, you're not going to like me, because I love basketball. I mean, we're doing individuals. We're working on your game. We're watching film. But then on top of that, I'm making sure that you're handling all your stuff outside of the floor, right? Like, are you going to class? We're doing class checks. I'm watching your grades. I don't want your GPA going down, because you need to have a certain type of GPA to even go Division I, so that people can give you your money back, right? And so make yourself marketable. We're into the social media thing, right? And so because if you market yourself properly, then somebody give you some NIL money, or somebody, hey, wear this T-shirt because you got a pretty face, or you know how to talk to people. I want to pay you to wear a T-shirt or do this commercial. And then, like I said, I run everything like a big family, and so hey, my kids are going to be around you, so you can't be talking crazy, because I'm going to blame you on why is Prince and Jordan coming home learning how to trip out, Cameron Beck. So
They teaching them how to do all the dance.
Man, teaching them how to do the TikToks and all of that. And so, just making sure that you're a complete woman in everything. What do you want to do? Getting you in line with, you want to be a lawyer, getting you in line with somebody who is in law at Kilgore. Go intern with them. So you realize, oh no, this is something I really want to do. Oh, I want to be an athletic trainer. Go sit with the athletic trainers, watch them a day. Or, a police officer, go watch them in a day of what they do, and realize if that's what you really want to do. We're really intentional. I am a really intentional person. Anybody who is connected to me is going to succeed. I truly believe that, because I pour my whole life into whoever is connected into me. And so I just make sure that whoever comes to Kilgore is worth pouring that time into, because once I got that second chance, I just am a firm believer that God gave me this second chance to be a head coach for a reason. And so I got to help raise this next generation up, because when they get to that next spot, it's a business. It's a business here too. But then people don't, I'm not saying they don't care, but it's a business. They got to win games.
Right.
So they don't have
they're
losing their job, so they don't have time to teach you how to do things. Hey man, you better figure, why are you not going to class? All right, I'm going to get the next one. So that's why I feel like it's my job to come in. Hey, that coach is not going to hold your hand through the whole process. Now I got to teach you how to fish. And when you get out there, go dominate. And I think that's why it's great for Juco rather than somebody who's going straight D1, because they're learning on the edge, they're watching other people. When you go Juco, you have to do it.
Yes.
And so that's why Division I's come and recruit our players, because they don't have time to go teach. So I need somebody that can come impact right now.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go get me a Lady Ranger, because they can impact my team right now to help me get to my goal. I ain't got to teach them. They're gonna know how to talk. They're gonna know how to bring the energy. I'm not gonna have to get on them about going to class. I'm not gonna have to get on them about all that other stuff. They already know how to do that. And if they not, I know Coach Williams taught you better. Let me call her real quick. And I know you don't want to hear Coach Williams out, so let me go ahead and call, handle it. So
get right.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's the type of players that we're recruiting at Kilgore, that just want to succeed in all aspects of life. Because when they graduate, I'm calling to help them get their first job. Be great mothers, all of the things. It's bigger than basketball.
Yeah.
We have them at my house all the time. I just cooked a meal for them. We watched the Final Four, cooking them burgers and hot dogs and stuff like that, like creating memories. I'm sure you have memories from South Plains.
A lot of them.
Yeah, that will never go away. That Juco file is different.
Yeah, it's different. That's a fact. It's a fact. I always say, I honestly feel like I had more fun at South Plains than at Texas.
I'm trying to tell you.
It's different.
There's nothing to do, so you got to figure it out.
You got to get creative.
Yes.
It's very different, so I definitely agree with that. Now, y'all are picked, I think I saw that, second.
Second.
What is it going to take to get over that hump, to get to number one?
All right,
I'm just saying.
Oh, man. It's going to take us doing what we've been doing. And, first year, we were ranked 6th, 5th. Last year, we were ranked, we finished at 3rd. We were tied for 1st most of the season.
And what were y'all picked preseason?
We were picked 3rd, 4th.
Okay.
And so we were tied for 1st most of the season, and it was a 3-way tie, and then boom, lost the game, and that's where the chips fell. And so this year, each year has been a progression. This year, I'm very honored, all glory to God, that we are second with a couple of first place votes, and I think it's just a testament of these young ladies. I'm not going to take any credit on that. It's a testament of these young ladies and these parents who are believing in my vision, that come in and give me their all. My assistant coaches, my strength and conditioning coaches that come in every single day and give me their all. I just trust people that do their jobs. And if it's not good enough, we're going to keep on doing it until it's good enough. And so I think to get that first place, obviously you know who we have to go through. We have to do the details of everything correctly. And we just got to come in and play hard and just trust the process. So I think this team is special. But we're going to work in silence.
Yeah.
So
I love it, man. We always start the podcast off with something that's different, and I like to end with you or the team. So what makes Kilgore different? 2-part question. And what makes you different?
I got 2 books. One called The Little Girl with Big Dreams, about an ambitious little girl who overcomes every no to say yes to her dream. And another called Changing Lanes, using sports as a vehicle to drive success on and off the court. If you're looking for a good book to read, make sure you check both of them out at ashleyannroberts.com.
The energy, right? I think what makes Kilgore different is the energy and what we're able. Everybody's going to be able to provide scholarship, all of those things, but what makes Kilgore different is the energy and me. And I'm a different type of person. Anybody who has talked to me, anybody who's played for me knows that I'm a genuine person, and this is a cutthroat business. And so to be able to not have to worry about how things are said, what's being done, this, that, and the third, somebody who truly has your best interest and is going to be your top supporter besides your family, that's why people love coming to play for me, because I'm going to coach you hard, but I'm also going to be there when you graduate. I'm also going to be there when you get married. I'm going to be there when you have any major event, and they know that the love is real. So.
And the love has been real here. I have truly enjoyed this episode, and I knew I would.
Every time we connect, the vibes is good.
That's just it. I just feel like I'm just talking to my sister at the restaurant.
You're a real one, man. You're a real one. I'm going to give you your flowers once again, because I know that you're going, put this on camera. Make sure that tape don't go off because I want to date it. That she gonna be huge. You hear me? And so you're humble. You're outgoing. You just do it like you have a specific vision. One of the things when we were talking about before the cameras turned on, you were specifically saying you want to help youth basketball. I don't want to be no college coach. I don't want to do all that. I want to help young ladies and I want to help parents and I want to educate them so I can help them get to the next level. You're specific in your vision. You're asking God for those things. Continue to pray for it, and He gonna multiply it. Watch. I just want an autograph.
It's happening. You can get one of them right now. No, I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking time away. Again, y'all stop sleeping on these Jucos.
Please.
We got a list of junior college coaches that's coming because I truly do believe, and I know we ending, but we just keep talking.
Yeah.
When I started the podcast, obviously I said that, I want to bring on people to give information. And then I actually got specific in that. And it just kind of turned. I let God lead the way a little bit.
Yeah.
But my thing really for the podcast is to get the things that they don't hear. You hear about and see about the Texas and the Duke and the Baylor and this and that. But you don't hear and hear that kid that went D1 and then went Juco or went D2, or that kid that went Juco and then went D1, like them not the ones that's getting interviewed all the time.
Yeah.
And then same thing with coaches. That's why a lot of people don't know about Juco, because that ain't what they see. So that was my thing. Like I want junior college coaches, D2 coaches, NAIA coaches, kids that went Juco and then went D1 and vice versa, because that's not what's really talked about a lot.
Yeah.
And you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
At the end of the day. So I appreciate you for being the first one in the lineup. Make sure y'all follow the podcast, subscribe on YouTube, like, share, do all of that. And if you're not following the page on Instagram, I really don't know what you're doing.
What are you doing?
Follow the page. It's just different vibes.